our screen attractions in the company.
It's showtime.
It's gonna be a good show tonight.
This guy, he come in and kill everybody in my club. Huh?
Out at a gentleman's club outside meeting.
We split up at TJ. This one's gonna bring some heat.
Hey, where the hell are we?
Just been following the road.
So can you point to the spot on the map where we are and tell me how to get to the interstate?
Damn, son, you really lost.
People don't just end up in Redstone by accident.
There's someone here you need to meet. Howdy, Sheriff.
I'm what they call a dangerous prey hunter. Love the thrill of a good hunter.
Smells like roadkill.
Justice is always served up.
The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Scarefest. Okay, everybody. Okay, I can't do it anymore. I want all the viewers to notice that I dressed for the occasion. Us having Scream Queen royalty, Miss Tiffany Shepis. We've had a little audio issues getting everything going here, but we're rocking and rolling now. But you know. I'm going to say something to my Ken, how did your camera move? A minute ago, we had you framed perfectly. But anyway.
I love you.
We have to reframe this immediately because this is not a good look for me.
I will do that at some point very soon. Get Ken off the thing. Okay, everybody.
Thank you.
The funny part about all this is this has just been the icing on the cake that was my day. Everything, I mean, this has been, if Mercury is, what do they call it, in retrograde?
Retrograde.
Well, this time Uranus is up your butt. It's everything. It is just incredible. I've had everything today has had some glitch. Nothing has went without, including, okay, now everybody, very quickly, I'm just going to say including, I announced that we had 7 announcements tonight. 15 minutes before the show, I get a text saying, hold on 2 of the announcements. After we've got everything set up and everything, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. And but no, everything's okay. We do, in fact, have 7 announcements tonight. My co-host is Mr. Ken Boggle, who I did not hear from till 30 minutes before the show. And
napping is my new thing. I'm off the alcohol. I'm off nicotine. Napping is the new drug.
Oh my God! I can't even hang out with you anymore. Anyway, and then without further ado, as we say in the radio business, Tiffany Shepis, welcome to the train wreck that is Scarefest Radio.
It's just a little bit of a train wreck, like a mini wreck, like a collision. But that part was mostly Ken. The rest of us were really good and had our shit together.
I tell you what, I'm gonna put us side by side on the viewing screen, and then that'll give me a chance at some point to actually get Ken's video fixed. I don't even know where to go with this. I'll just start here. Tiffany, now I'm going to do first. I'm going to give you a confession. I had never heard your name before a month ago.
Oh, good. That's really a good
had
thing.
Had seen you in movies, but had not. I don't watch that many movies. Then because you were coming to Scarefest, I started watching you, and I hate to break the news to you. You will have a restraining order by September 15th. I have no doubt. I love a lot of your stuff. I haven't seen everything because I'm a cheap bastard and I only do what like Amazon Prime already has included in Shudder.
Okay, yeah.
So but I literally did a search by your name and watched, just sucked up everything you did, and I just want to say that you are a lovely, lovely, and talented lady.
Thanks. Sadly, I think the ones that you can find for free are the absolute worst movies I've ever made.
Only a couple. No, I have a list here. Somewhere I have a list here. I have a list here of the ones I've watched, and I want to tell you, a couple of them I really, really like. Now, a couple of them, okay, yeah, they were trash. But, a couple of, okay, now, first question out of the bat, because if you do a search for your name, and it's on IMDb, Night Watchman.
It's a cool movie.
It is. It's a great movie. I saw that. Was that really you?
Super tiny cameo in it because the guys who made The Violent Kind, which I was in, the Butcher Brothers, Mitch Altieri made that, and he was like, "Fucking, we're making a movie about clowns and vampires." I'm like, "I'm in. I need to be in that." And it was cool. That movie did like really well at all the festivals and stuff. And people dig it, but yeah, I'm only in it for like 3 seconds.
Well, that explains. Because now this is how famous you are.
Oh, yes, baby.
Because that is not the only movie that they gave you top billing, and you are like in it fleetingly. Another one, let's see here. I believe it was Claw. Claude. No, yeah, it was Claude. You and Felissa Rose.
Oh, Claude. Yeah, I didn't even know that movie came out. And I actually just told Felissa recently, I was like, oh shit, the movie that we called the recycled trash bag monster movie for years is now called Claude. She was like, what? Oh my God, that movie came out. And yeah, apparently it did. And I think she was pregnant at the time, and we were on it for like an hour. Like, that's how much we shot, so.
Yeah, that's how much you.
Top billing. That's good.
Yeah. That is what tickled me about it, is that I saw that featuring you and Felissa Rose, friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched 30 minutes into it. I see the two of you. You've got a nice scene. You're speaking. You're God damn it! You get gutted in like 10 seconds, and I'm like, I waited 30 minutes to watch my heartthrob, this beautiful beautiful lady, and Felissa Rose, who is also my heartthrob, beautiful beautiful lady. Watch you all get gutted. I was so disappointed.
Terrible. You gotta write the trash bag flawed monster movie people a letter, like a hate mail.
So it was originally the original cast title was The Trash Bag Monster. That's interesting.
That's what we named it. I don't quite know what it was originally called, but I think that was the point of the movie. It was like a recycle monster, or like the world's gone to shit, and now it's gonna come back and fuck you up. Like, I don't know.
I didn't get it. Once they killed off the two of you, I lost interest and moved on. But okay. I get that. Now, where's my other page of notes here? I see. This is how Ken. Have you ever known me to make notes about a guest?
Never. No,
So
you and I've done this for years, and I've never known you to be so studious and prepared. Not ever.
I'm really
because he's never watched one of my movies until a month ago.
yeah, but think how many I've
say that.
Go ahead,
His
Ken.
introduction, though, was, rough. He said, I had no idea who you are. And it's like, and some of your movies are shit. But, I mean, he dressed, he showered, he wore a bow tie. I mean, like, this is Wes Forsythe at his best, this right here.
Amazing. And you did that whole trick with your computer's not working to get my phone number.
Oh, I knew it would be that way. I knew it.
Skype trick.
I knew it would go down like that. I knew it.
I did not think of that. I will have to save that. Well, for the record, okay, everybody, now I'm going to tell you what went on before the show. We couldn't get her audio to work on her laptop. So in the process of trying to get her audio to work, now everybody picture this. You're looking at her on screen. She kept standing up. Now tell me, Ken, if I was not a sincere person, would I have not just continued to fake the audio issues for like the next 2 days?
Well, since I was not on Skype at that time, I'm unclear for how long it went on. So, like, I'm not really sure how long you milked it. So I have no comment.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a big problem. Apparently.
I was just getting 3 kinds of tore up. So anyway, but we got everything working, and thank you so much, sincerely, for your patience. A lot of stars of your caliber would have just told me to shove Scarefest Radio up my wazoo and moved on.
I did. You just couldn't hear me.
Love it. Please tell me you're coming to the launch party, because me and we can just have, that's the night I get to rock it. Because see, I'm kind of a limited drinker, and after I put all my chips on the table that first night, and by the time the VIP party and everything else rolls around, Ken's seen me. I'm fairly useless.
I mean, and more so than usual. More so than usual.
Don't worry. I'll be there to pick up the pieces. No worries.
All right.
Ooh.
Do you notice, Ken, I find one lovely lady every year to flirt with?
One? No, yeah, that's true.
I zone in on one. I zone in on one. And this year I went.
So we'll be there. So I will gladly lead my drunken friend your way to meet your drunken mess, and me and Ken will take over the show.
Okay, now look, don't write checks your ass can't cash, because when you party with a boggle, like your whole world, you'll end up in a Motel 6 with live chickens and
who's a boggle? What's that?
That's
Ken Boggle. The Boggle. It's me, Ken Boggle. But like when you party with Ken Boggle, it all goes well until like 2 a.m. and you disappear for like an hour and no one knows where you go, and you come back at 3 and you're like, ready to finish the party. It's 6 a.m. next thing you know, and you have zero self-respect. And then you show up at the con the next day and sell a couple autographs. It's fantastic. You're gonna love it.
Sounds profitable.
Yeah.
I will confess, I've seen him do it. It's really incredible. Now, going back to my notes on the topic of confusing names, the Frankenstein Syndrome, which was a really good movie, which is apparently now named The Prometheus Project.
Yeah, that was not the director's choice at all. He called it the Prometheus Project. He called it the Prometheus Project originally, and I thought it was a cool title. And the distributors thought nobody will know what Prometheus is. And a month later, Prometheus came out. So it's like, that would have been a good, like, kind of asylum kind of get, like, to get the people, the red box people that get confused. But then it was called the Frankenstein Syndrome, which kind of pissed a lot of people off because they were like, oh, you're making a Frankenstein movie. And it's like, yeah, it kind of has a Frankenstein feel, but whatever. But I really like that film. It's one of my favorites of the stuff that I've done. It was certainly different from typical Scream Queen, like, I'm running and I'm naked deal, which obviously looks like. But,
and
I was a fan.
And of course, I did see how tickled you got in my choice of movie trailers for Exit to Hell. The one I chose the ones purposely where you shows you off in your stripper garb. Incidentally,
yeah, that's hard. It's hard to fake stripping in a club that has real strippers and are like I've never felt more like I've been to so many auditions, I've taken tons of classes, all types of shit. Never have I felt more judged in my life than I did that day where you're like fake stripping and the real strippers sit back like, that shit ain't how it's done. Like, that ain't that good. Like, it was terrible. Like, I was kind of mortified to the point where, like, I would, like, befriend the strippers. Like, hey, you're so good at that, Brandy. Can you show us how to do it?
I mean, as someone who has been there before, as I have, I totally understand.
I felt very judged, very inferior.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, join them, you know?
Yeah, and I think I broke my tailbone, like, legit, like, trying to do some shit they do on the pole, and I was like, I can do it, and yeah, I couldn't.
But I'm usually, like, I'm the guy at the end of the stage that's like handing, you know, 10s and 20s, but I'm asking questions like, where did you go to school?
Oh,
you know,
God.
Are you married? You know, how many kids have you got? Like, is this your long-term plan to do the pole, or are you in school for dental hygiene? Like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean?
And as you should, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, there are people, I have lots of friends and strippers, like, no big thing. It's just, I really did feel very, like, I can't do this like they can. And they let me know it.
okay, everybody, we're going to cut in here. We do, despite all this stuff going on, we do need actually to have a commercial break. We'll be right back with more of Tiffany Shepis. Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Find them every month at Lexington, Kentucky's Mystical Fair, mysticalfairlex.com, or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being. And welcome back to Scarefest Radio and our lovely and talented guest, Ms. Tiffany Shepis. Okay, we got to do some business now. This is what the folks they tuned in for two reasons tonight. Tiffany and our incredibly long list of celebrity announcements.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got web pages pulled up here and all kinds of shit. Our first announcement, because we like to get somebody from the rock and roll field every year, Dr. Chud. Dr. Chud, who you would know from the Ramones, and he worked with Doyle Wolfgang. What was his name last year, Ken?
Franken something or other.
Frankenstein. I don't know. But and I don't mean that. He'll never come back to Scarefest. No. But anyway, we have Dr. Chud. Now, Dr. Chud will be making an appearance at the launch party if everything doesn't fall apart like tonight's show. So Dr. Chud, he'll be there all weekend to sign autographs. But the plans are he's supposed to be there Thursday night, and we're not sure. He's going to do a photo op, but we're not sure when he's going to do it.
Is the photo op with or without shirt?
All the pictures I've seen of him have been without shirt, so I'm going to stick my neck out and take a guess.
I'm in.
Take a guess. I'm just going to take a quick guess and say it's probably without shirt. But everybody, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Fucker come in a business suit.
If it costs more to get one with shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it should. Look, I'm frugal. I care about where my money goes. And I'm all about objectifying men for feminism. Like, that's my role, is to objective, because I have to turn the tables, right? So, I mean, take the top off or the picture ain't happening, kid. Like, I'll make you a star. I'm going to make you a star, kid.
Okay, now, our next announcement, everybody. The Ghost Brothers. The Ghost Brothers. Very, very popular fan favorite last year. They are returning to Scarefest. Ghost Brothers, as seen on Destination America. What are you holding up fingers for? All three of them. Yes, okay, all three. That's why, okay, if they're watching TV, honey, they will see. My wife is producing. I called her honey. Now she's flipping me off. But all three of them are in the picture. Yes, in fact, we do have all three of them booked to come to Scarefest. The Ghost Brothers.
They are amazing.
They're brothers in the urban sense.
And in the camaraderie kind of vibe.
Yes.
They're Ghost Brothers. Yeah, they're in it to win it together.
They're not physically related.
No. But they are amazing. We had them at Mama Ruby's Inner Light Festival, and I got to kind of hang out and get to meet them. And they're just exceptional guys, like super, super nice. And they do this in a way that's not like overly pretentious. Like they're very realistic about, what they're feeling, if they're scared, if they're not scared, and things like that. Like awesome guys. And I'm really happy to have them at Scarefest. That's going to be great.
Sweet. And
our final announcement for this segment. Calm down, everybody. We still have a buttload more of announcements. And I'm going to get her out because I'm going to forget the name of her movies. But it's Eileen Dietz. Now, Halloween 2, several. But I think, oddly enough, she's best known, from what I can gather, for a part that she didn't even get billed for. She played this creature in The Exorcist. Forget what it was called. I recognized it, but I forget what the name of it was. And this is what she's famous for, despite the IMDb list of movies that is almost as long as Tiffany's. How do you do that?
Eileen and I did a movie together that actually never came out, too. And it was called The Queen of Screams. And it was like a weird movie where she was like a scream queen, and then like she pissed at like the younger scream queen, so she went and killed everybody.
Well, she's amazing. My husband and I got to meet Eileen years ago when she was at Scarefest, and she was such a giving, caring, awesome gal. Like I adored her. I thought she was the bee's knees, and she's so tiny. She's like this big. She's a tiny little itty bitty thing. But her personality and her smile is so huge.
Yeah.
And she shared the story about smacking Ellen Bernstein from in The Exorcist. She was like, I played the demon Pazuzu.
That's it.
She's like, yeah, I'm there for you, babe. I got you. And she just told this amazing story about, how there were some things that Linda Blair was just too young to do. Especially the scene with the crucifix and things like that. So when it's zoomed in, it's actually Eileen who's doing all these things. Mm-hmm. And so I would say the scariest moments of The Exorcist are actually the work of Eileen Dietz. And it's a bummer that she is so underappreciated because she's pretty phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, she's great. She's a great lady. But, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find that many females that have been in the genre as long as she has, or kind of the mainstay horror chicks that aren't super cool. You know what I mean? It's like the ones that have been stuck around, there's a reason. Like, there's a reason Melissa is at all the cons. There's a reason Eileen Dietz is always around and making movies. It's like, if you're a dick, kind of find ways to get rid of you.
It sounds just like the paranormal business. It's just like the paranormal business, right, Wes?
Yeah, and Ken, you can while I collect my composure, you may have your segment because I'm all giddy. I don't know.
Okay. He shot his load way too fast. He came out with all these notes. He hit it hard. Boom, it's over. So my questions are a bit more get to know you kind of questions, and they're a bit more kind of gushy. I've watched a lot of your movies, and I have been a fan of yours for a period of time. Now, of course, I'm not fangirling, but I think you're pretty amazing. And you share a quality with Joan Crawford that I don't even think you recognize that you have. Now, in the course of the movies that you will watch Tiffany in, you're going to notice that she really takes on each individual character. But there is something about the way you do it that even your facial structure seems different. even the way you position your mouth when you're phrasing and the way you move your eyes and your brow, totally different. The only other person who ever does this is Joan Crawford. So
you have like I don't like, how is anyone ever going to follow that up? You've watched every interview ever.
All right. But I think it's so impressive. And I mean, you know, because you see a lot of ladies or in a lot of guys who try to like maybe go too far with the character, or they're not quite hitting it. Like there's something that they're missing. There's a piece of the character that's not quite there, and you feel that gap throughout the film. Not with you. So my question is, did you do classes? How long did it take, or were you born this way?
I took a lot of classes when I was growing up in New York, but mostly at the beginning it was all for technique, like on camera technique, not necessarily acting, but more like I don't want to be the idiot on set when they say find your light or go to your mark. Like I didn't want to not know what those things were. So it was for a lot of stuff like that, like more technical things. And then I went to the school of trauma, which is hilariously like the bigger, the better, the more extreme, the ridiculous. But I think that was an actual like advantage for certain things, because it's really hard to bring people up. You know what I mean? Like taking someone down is really easy. So I don't know. Like I was just kind of trying to just be real and just play me and hope it works out. Like, but oddly, like it's just about, for me anyway, like keep trying different stuff, which is why like I got really excited when I was able to do the movie like the Frankenstein Syndrome. Like if it's something new and different, I'm really into it. If it's the same thing over and over again, I'm kind of like, I never wanted to be the one that they're like, oh wow, Tiffany really phoned that in. So it was always just trying to find different ways to play everything. Like and as far as classes, like dude, I take classes to groundlings now. Like even like your career, like or mine, trying to find different stuff that can make you a little better, you know. And that's a whole different animal because it's all like sketch comedy stuff, which is really different from horror. At the flip side, I'm like, fuck, 90% of my movies like turned out funny even if they weren't supposed to be. So maybe there's something to it.
Well, I think of course horror and comedy, there's a very thin line that goes between the two. Unless you're being extremely violent or something, it's hard sometimes to make that separation. I.e., Rob Zombie does a great way of saying, no, look, this is horror. You know what I mean? Like this is supposed to freak you out and you're not going to sleep tonight. But like I look at the work that you do, and it's got a lot of sci-fi to it. There are certain things that are sort of scientific kind of things. But the theme of horror is definitely strong. So what brought you to that? Was that just a coincidence, or was that by design on your side?
So my first movie was Romeo and Juliet, for, Trauma and James Gunn's first movie. And because their following was so big at the time, they would bring me to conventions and whatnot, and I would meet a lot of, like, the fans. And I think it was because I was such a big horror fan that it was like, at the time, there wasn't that many females that were going to conventions. There wasn't that many chicks that were into horror. So it was like, well, wait a second, she makes horror movies and she likes horror movies and she's kind of cute. Like, fuck it, we're gonna love her. So I got like a really cool little fan base, and because of that, like a lot of those same kids like that would watch my stuff would then grow up to make movies, and they would cast me, and so the horror thing was like a little bit of a coincidence, a little bit by design, in the fact that I was so drawn to it that I got cast a lot for it. It was like, oh, why would you get somebody who's not really into making this movie when you get somebody who's going to fund and rally for it?
Right. Right.
And so for me, that was good. Like the only problem with that is, just being an actor, you kind of want to do everything, yet everybody goes, oh no, you just make horror movies. Oh, you just do horror interviews. Oh,
to pigeonhole you or categorize you.
Like that's a bit of a bummer, because you're like, I want to do everything. Like, yeah, for certain, like my heart is horror films, and my dream like would be to be in a huge budget horror movie that everybody sees. Not that you have to like scroll through IMDb or you can't find it. Like on your guys' case, like, oh, it's only this one on Amazon Prime. Like, I want the fucking movie that you can see everything.
Right. You want to do the Chris Pratt thing, where you just blow the fuck up. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, certainly would that be rad? I don't imagine that happening. I just want one fucking really cool movie. I would prefer it to VR.
She wants that mansion and a pool. I see it in her face. Like I totally see. She's like, I want my pool. Okay, so here's a great question. If I do say so myself, if you could reboot any film at all and take any role that you choose, male, female, whatever, however you would like to re-envision it, what movie, what role?
Oh shit.
Boom, kid. Boom.
Okay, so there's 3.
Okay.
There would be, I would play Angela in Night of the Demons.
Okay.
I would love to be in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Okay, which role though?
Either one.
No.
Yes, dude. Okay. Both fucking parts in that movie are equally badass because you have Joan Crawford, right, and you have Betty Davis, and both are phenomenal actors. Both, like, you have somebody who's trapped in a home, can't get out. Like, you get to play all of that sad, like, holy shit kind of misery as, like, how's she ever going to get out of there? And then you have batshit crazy. And the batshit crazy is a little one note, so I think you'd always be a little jealous of the other side.
What if you could play both roles and re-envision this film as a twin story? Now, how would that move you?
Yeah, I think it would be a big clusterfuck.
It would be your tour de force. It would be your shining moment.
It would be wow, she should have never done that.
What's your third option? What's your third idea? What would you do?
Shit, I did say there was 3, but now I don't know if I would really actually do the third one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a third one. Like, no, there's not.
Perfect. I love that. That's great.
That's it, right? That's a good answer.
And if we're being honest, baby, Jane is one role, Blanche is the other. Boom. There's your 2 roles. Count it up.
There you go.
Let's do the math and help the guest out because that's spot on. So when you're watching a horror movie, what is something that you absolutely cannot stand? What is something that you look at and you're like, I am totally never going to do that, or like, it just completely turns you off in film? What is something that you just Tiffany won't do?
Oh shit. Well, I mean, I don't ever say won't do because that went out the window like at 16 when I was like, I'll never get naked in a horror movie. The won't do's don't really sit well with me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you always want to be like a step ahead of these characters so your audience isn't like, wow, they're so fucking stupid. Because it's really hard for me to get behind as an actor when like a director's like, no, really, you would go downstairs. And I'm like, no, I fucking wouldn't. Like, that's really dumb. Like, your audience is smarter than that. And I think, like, I don't know. And that's kind of why, like, as I've gotten older and have made more movies and like, we've been fortunate enough that, like, I don't have to take every single movie anymore. Like, there were times where, like, it's just like, yeah, I gotta pay all these bills. Like, gotta take every single crappy movie that comes to me. That you can look at some of these scripts and go, wow, like, why do they think this makes sense? Like, why would anyone do this? Like, the fans are so much smarter. Horror people are so much smarter. Like, they want to see smart characters. Like, you want to root for somebody. So right. I think that bothers me now, like, seeing in more modern horror films, like, these unlikable characters that you don't want to root for. It's like, why am I caring? Like, why would I care about you if you're just that stupid?
But don't you think I mean this with 100% respect, or I wouldn't be a part of the Scarefest group. But don't you think that horror fans have to be some of the hardest to please in terms of, like, what their criteria is for a great film or what their criteria is for being a great actress? Horror fans are kind of they've got standards.
Absolutely, because also we've seen so many of them. You've seen every single which way somebody can die. You've seen every type of possession. It's coming when you're watching a possession film and the girl starts looking a little funny and she starts sweating a little bit or she starts dressing a little sluttier. You know what I mean? Like, you know, oh shit, that bitch is possessed. So there's not a lot that can shock us anymore. So I think that's hard. That like makes it hard to please the average fan. You know, and even for me, like we watched A Quiet Place the other night and I loved it. Like I raved about it on Twitter. Like I legit sat in my house. I was like pissed that somebody turned the washing machine on. I was like, it's funny in here. What the fuck? And I thought it was great, you know, but then I do find myself at the end going, well, you know, and I'm going to spoil it. So if you haven't watched it, then don't listen right now. But like I'm going into myself at the end, like, you know, certainly all of the top scientists in the world had tried to figure the fucking thing out. All of the military tried to figure the thing out before everyone got wiped off the earth, but they couldn't figure out that you could do something with somebody's hearing aid, like a frequency thing. Like to me, like then the end, I start picking that apart and I start to like have to be like, shame on you. Like I love this movie. Like why am I gonna fucking blow it up just in the last few seconds?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I do understand from a genre fan's point of view, like we sometimes are like, what the hell? Why couldn't you figure this out? But how are you going to let that ruin that you loved, you know, the other 90 minutes of it? Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be real honest with you. John Krasinski could stand in front of a camera and do absolutely nothing for 3 hours. And I would spend that. Oh my God. And now that he's all beefy and bulky and he's not like Jim Halpert, you know, like, I think he's just the bee's knees. He could literally do absolutely nothing for 3 hours, and I would pay huge money for it because I'm totally in love. And then Emily Blunt, she's amazing too.
They were all great.
Yeah. Now, so before I turn it over to Wes, I have one last question. What is your absolute favorite role you've ever played? Of all of them, and there have been many, which is the best?
Crap. Again, there's three.
I love it. Go, girl. Do it.
All right. We keep going back to the Frankenstein syndrome. I played Dr. Elizabeth Barnes. She was a molecular biologist, said a lot of really awesome, smart things. Loved playing her. Loved being in The Violent Kind. Got to play a crazy biker chick that then gets possessed. I get to crawl around on ceilings. Like there is like no bigger dream come true than for me to crawl around on a ceiling and attack people and possess them. Fucking amazing. And a movie I did a long time ago, which is kind of what sort of put me on the map to some genre fans, was called The Hazing, where I got to play and kill, spoiler, I'm good at that, opposite Brad Dourif. It's just like a super fun 80s style Night of the Demons, Hell House, like great fun flick. Like if you want to watch like a popcorn movie, and I thought my character was just kind of like a bit of a bitch and a bunch of a badass.
I love that. I love hardcore badass women. They're like my favorite. And I love smart women too. Like I get like, you know, I get full up of seeing like that sort of damsel dumb thing. I love a smart badass chick. It's like the best. Okay, Mr. Forsyth, back to you, sir.
And thanks for making me look bad, Ken, with your serious, knowledgeable questions. Everybody, you're watching Scarefest Radio. We're going to do a quick commercial break. Come back. I've got a couple more celebrity announcements and then some business we got to take care of. But so we'll be right back.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism.
Spiritual advisement.
Paranormal investigations.
Inspirational presentations.
Bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more. And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Radio. Now, before we get to our announcements, I have to say, during the commercial break, this is what has happened on Scarefest Radio. I'm right where I was, only a little bit more tore up than I was in the first segment. Ken has went straight, and my goddamn wife is gay now because of what went on during the commercial break on camera. And so it just, I don't have a chance. Anyway, our announcements, our celebrity announcements. Everybody, if you don't like this one, I just don't even want to talk to you. Shawnee Smith, who has been in every fucking TV series in the last 20 years, I think. But she's done a lot of movies. I remember her, Ken, all the way back from, I think the first time I remember her was the one shot here in Kentucky. What was it called? Bluegrass. Yeah. I remember her in it. I don't remember the part. I don't remember a lot about it. I remember the movie, but yeah, she played Alice Gibbs in that. But she was in The Blob as Meg Penny. Of course, she's coming in as part of our big Saw franchise, getting people in from Saw. But everybody, Shawnee Smith, who is just absolutely a fantastic actress and looks so damn innocent in every role she plays.
Thank you. And I would like to press pause for just a moment and say I have a lot against her in that this woman does not age.
Oh,
She's made a deal with Satan. I don't know how it happened, but this chick she doesn't age. I don't get it. She's bathing in the blood of virgins. I don't understand.
Her and Tom Cruise have paintings in their attic. It's this big, long, complicated thing that the painting ages. But I have to agree with you. And actually, I almost didn't recognize her from the IMDb picture that I used on her banner, because it actually makes her look like this really hot, sexy, attractive woman. And most of her parts that come to mind, she plays, the hair up in the bun, and now I'm not saying that's across the board, but she always plays such a nice, sweet girl next door
reserved.
part. Yeah, reserved.
Yeah.
And now they're telling me she didn't look innocent and Saw. Okay. But I'm just saying that's the way I remember her. Everybody. Also. Right. Now, for the paranormal people, Mr. Victor Peruta. Victor Peruta. He's a spiritual consultant. We met him down, I guess that was the first time you met him, down to Mama Ruby's Holistic Mystic Expo, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. But we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time together, which I hope I can remedy that at Scarefest, because he's got quite the following and he's got quite the career. He's been at it for a hot minute. And I'd like to spend time to get to know him, because it's a real bummer that we didn't at Mama Ruby's.
See, you should have hung out with me more, because me and him practically got thrown out of the fucking hotel. We were making too much noise walking down the hotel at like 2 a.m. walking down the hallway.
Right.
And literally, I thought the guy had a gun for a moment. He came to the door and he was ready to whip ass, because we were telling jokes and walking down the hallway.
I was busy getting drunk with the hypnotist. I had things to do, Wesley.
You guys are asking for trouble, getting drunk with hypnotists, spiritual advisors, like.
I mean, Wes and I have pretty much done it all. These things scare us not. They don't scare us at all.
You don't realize that every month you're automatically like wiring money to these people because you've been hypnotized to do so.
No. We're immune to all that stuff. Anyway, now some business. This is stuff the boss is telling me I got to go over. Everybody, 8/13. What is that? Monday? I think it's Monday. If you want a hotel room downtown, don't wait till after 8/13 because that's when the prices go up. And then you have to hope that Hotels.com or some silly shit like that has a discount for you. They put our room block deadline at 8/13, August 13th. And I never did get an answer. I think they even pull the rest of our platinum passes. Anything unsold, to be clear. I didn't get an answer on that. So I'm not even sure you'll be able to buy a platinum pass to the Scarefest after Monday. So if you're thinking about it, get on the stick.
But didn't they add more platinum packages? Wasn't that the thing this year?
They did. You got to remember, okay, the way this works, people, is when we add basically a platinum it's a gold pass with a hotel room. Okay, the math is fairly easy. The trick is once we add platinum passes, guess who has to sell a kidney if the platinum passes don't sell out? In other words, you've committed to selling those pretty much. Those rooms, they won't hold those rooms past a certain date unless the Griffiths are willing to write extra checks. So so just to be clear, there, like I said, I might be. That was said in one of the various lengthy email chains that I got this week working for the Scarefest. But then again,
this is riveting.
Somebody's got to. Well, yeah, and I know that making movies is all just shits and giggles, so don't give me that.
Look, I'm in love with her. And we're going to be like sorority lesbian sisters. Like I'm going to braid her hair. We're going to have frozen
I'm
pizza.
sorry, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. We'll do makeover. Me and her, we're on. Tiffany,
yeah, my wife will be making out with her in a corner, according to what I've gathered. Anyway, Ghost Hunt. Okay, the Ghost Hunt passes. The Celebrity Ghost Hunt passes should go on sale tomorrow morning, is what the plan is. So if people have been messaging Scarefest asking for the Ghost. It's this weekend. They're getting them all lined out. Also, more photo ops are supposed to go on sale this weekend. So watch Facebook. Go to the website, thescarefest.com, click the little buy photo ops thing, and you'll see what all is current. And another thing I didn't get clarification on. Now, platinum passes, you get in the launch party free. I think gold do, but I'm not sure. So you might want to actually post that in the group and find out. But I'm pretty sure VIPs all get in the launch party free. Platinums definitely do, but everybody else, the launch party tickets. If you just got the 3-day pass, but you want to come to the launch party, or if you don't even come to the fucking Scarefest, you can still get in. You can still get in the launch party. So we got that going on now. I'm going to go ahead and announce our Facebook contest. Then we'll get back to flirting with our guests to keep Ken at bay. Now, in the Facebook group page, that would be the one with the banner that says the group. I clarified things. The Scarefest Horror Celebrity Phantom and Halloween Expo, the group. The banner at the top of the page says the group. Now, when I posted tonight's show, I actually pinned it to the top of the page. So now you know which post it is. Tonight's announcement is pinned to the top of the page. There is no doubt where to post the following. Bee's knees. Bee's knees.
Bee's knees.
That is not a phrase we get to hear all the time, so we decided to do that. Bee's knees. The first person to post that will get a 3-day pass to the Scarefest. We are giving away a pass tonight because I usually have better luck giving away when Ken's on the air. Tiffany, thank you for being so patient and for getting my wife so excited. Now, the bad part is I'm practically out of questions. Now, when did you realize that you were a scream queen? You talked a little bit about your early dramatic training, but at some point you go from just being in a horror movie to being a queen, a scream queen.
Okay, so when after I made Romeo and Juliet and a bunch of other low battery.
We're almost done.
Wait, I did something. Okay. After I made Romeo and Juliet and a few others, I was in super awe of women like Linnea Quigley and Brink Stevens and Julie Strain that I would see at all the shows. And the thing that I really admired about them that they were our scream queens then, right? Like Monique Parent. was that they were super gracious to their fans. Like they were hot as fuck, but they were super gracious, and they were always really excited to see everything. I was like, man, I want to be that, you know. And I was like 15 years old. Jules Shepard, who I love to death, from Return of the Living Dead and a million other 80s movies. She used to write articles. She wrote an article for Premiere Magazine in New York, and she had said something. It actually had something to do with my ass, like what I was wearing at the convention. But it was like new Scream Queen, and I was like, oh, like I'm a Scream Queen, like, and it was like the highlight of my life, because at that time it wasn't like where nowadays it kind of feels like a lot of girls can come to the convention and just kind of self-proclaim like this kind of weird, I made a movie myself, I'm a Scream Queen. Back then it seemed like it had to be almost like give it to you, and so that was like the first time I kind of felt like, oh, this is so awesome. And I did, like, you know, it's like anyone calling you anything, like, you know, besides bitch is awesome. Like, so to me, being called Scream Queen was like the most amazing thing in the world.
Okay, now a question from the chat room, and I think I did finally figure out the context of the question. Last time I did this, I had no freaking idea, and the guest didn't even know what I was talking about. So, but I think the question is, what is your opinion on all this BS with James Gunn?
I think James, I worked with him since I was a kid. He's a super nice guy. I don't think any of the stuff that I read, which was only a bit that I read of, I think it was all meant as dumb jokes. And I think someone should be fired for something they did a long time ago. I mean, hey, like, I did lots of stupid things growing up that I certainly wouldn't do now. So I think, I think it's bullshit. I think he's a nice guy.
And look, everybody, this show, I can never run for public office after doing this show. Perfect example.
Yeah, blank on this show.
Public office apparently is pretty fucking easy to get.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you very much. Absolutely. And by that measure, I'll be running for president in 2020, just to let you know. Tarot Master Ken Vogel on the paranormal ticket.
You can't concentrate long enough to do that. You're too flighty. Now, we do need to spend some time talking about the Exit to Hell reunion.
Yes.
Sponsored by Strangeland Oddities, and I have to say, the people at Strangeland Oddities are already treating me like I'm their friend. It makes a little lowly video host feel so welcome. Now, of course,
Strangeland has been pretty great, and really excited of having the reunion, especially with you guys. That it's made me excited, because like at first I was like, Exit to Hell reunion, like that would be awesome, but then like the more it's gone, I'm like, that'd be really awesome. So we're excited to be there with it.
Well, if you're going to have an Exit to Hell reunion, you got to do it in. I don't even know where Kane Hodder lives, but this is like his. I'm sure he has an apartment here that he's in. It seems like he's in Kentucky just every time I turn around. So he's got to have an apartment here at least. So this is definitely the place to do it. Now, here's the thing though. Have you given any thought, because they're talking about Exit to Hell 2 and bringing your character back for Exit to Hell 2, although you pretty well got brained in the first one.
I'm sorry, but did you see me stop breathing?
I didn't say you got killed.
Ooh.
I did not say you got killed. I originally I was corrected on that by Robert Conway. You did not die. I flinched. I flinched when it happened. But okay, you're alive. But
and if you remember from Exit to Hell 1, Kane Hodder is about taking care of people in wheelchairs who are a little in need.
Right. That's where I'm going with the question. Are you prepared, after playing the sexy siren for all these years, to play what was the slightly obese woman who spit food all over the place? That type of character in the sequel.
I am actively preparing. That is the reason I age. It was like, man, I'm just bored playing the sexy siren. I have to get old and ugly. So fuck, thank God it's working. No, I am actually really excited. I think that's kind of like, I mean, one, like everybody wants to keep getting better and cooler jobs, and truthfully, there's only so much awesome you can do, like in your 20s. Like, you know, there's only so many like really interesting parts. I mean, like the more interesting stuff comes when you can be more of a character actor, you know. And I don't know, I'd be really excited to play that. Plus, you know, it's I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm really excited for Excel too.
Like I said, he caught me completely off guard because I have to admit, I was convinced you were pushing up the daisies at the end of part one. I will confess. Now, we do have a winner on our 3-day pass giveaway. I am calling Christina Joy. Christina Joy, you are the winner. And believe me, here's my, the timing went, you did it first, and then Saranya Faye was right on your tail. Sharon Sutton was right behind that. But Christina Joy, according to my Facebook feed, you were the first to post, so I'm giving you the 3-day pass. Send me a private message with your email address, and we will get that sent to you this weekend. We need to do our last... We're going to do our last commercial break. Then, Ken, if you got a last question or two, I'll let you get that in. But we're going to get this. Everything's kind of run late. Everybody will be right back with more Scarefest Radio. And welcome back to Scarefest Radio. And I wish that I had turned the camera on my guest and host during the thing. I'm just going to tell you, that's how the bills get paid around here. That's how I'm just going to tell you. Okay, now our final announcements. We do have a couple of announcements. I'm going to turn it over to Ken so I can get the last question in. Eugene Clark is coming to the Scarefest. Eugene is best known for Land of the Dead, Walled In. He's done actually quite a few character parts. Handsome man, I have to say. So if the wife thing plays out for me, you know, I got somewhere to go. That's all I'm saying. Now, final announcement of the evening as far as celebrities. Keith Age, for the paranormal people. Keith Age, you know him from Mid-South Paranormal Convention, Lexington Ghost Hunter Society, and he's done just a whole bunch of work with the Booth Brothers. Narration, on-camera stuff. Louisville Ghost Hunter Society. Keith Age. That is our final celebrity announcement. Now, I do need to give a shout out to some returning talent that we got. We've got Scott Kindred coming back playing his Freddy Krueger character.
Love him.
He's like next to Robert England. Next to Robert England, he's like the best one I've seen.
Yeah.
And we also have Calypso Clown. Now, he's a favorite with the children, and he's the guy on stilts with the big air cannon that just bugs the piss out of you sometimes, but the kids love him. Now, and then new to the Scarefest this year, Pixie Pistola. Ariel.
Hey.
I am so sure can you do well, you've already talked. Okay. You might want to get with Pixie because our guest Tiffany has already told us she's not comfortable on working the pole yet. Well, apparently Pixie is an aerial acrobatic performer. I forget exactly how she built herself, but yeah, aerial gymnastics with a hoop, with a pole. Apparently, you give this girl something, she can lift her rear end off the ground, and she puts on a show for you. That's how I describe these things. So we're gonna get her and Tiffany together so that Tiffany can learn the finer points of pole dancing from a burlesque type professional. Ken, over to you.
Well, we've come to the part of our program where we selflessly promote. So, Ms. Tiffany, tell everyone where they can find you. I just added you on Twitter, BTW. But feel free to tell everybody your Gram, your Twitter, your Facebook, your Snap, all this.
That's awesome. I just blocked you on Twitter.
You are limiting yourself.
I don't even know. My Twitter and my Facebook and my Instagram are just Tiffany Shepis, SHEPIS. And I post a lot of things about my kids and a lot of things about horror movies. Those are pretty much it. And I've got a lot of cool stuff coming out. We have a new movie that's coming out in October called Killer Kate, which is getting a limited theatrical and it'll be on VOD the same day on October 2nd. And it's awesome. And you really get to see us try and kill this bitch named Kate. And we may or may not succeed. I'll let you know in October. And a movie called Texas Cotton coming out as well with me and Blue Temple and Jason Drury from Walking Dead and some awesome other people like George Hardy from Troll.
Ooh.
And it's a lot of fun, and it's not a horror film, but you guys will like it. So lots of cool stuff coming out, and from the same people that did The Night Watchman and The Violent Kind, I did a project for them, Mitch Altieri, called Starlight, and that should be coming out any day now. It's a weird horror film with Scout Taylor Compton and me and a bunch of other crazy newcomers. So watch it.
Well, I would like to wrap up my portion of the interview by saying that this has been one of my favorite guests, and I'm really thankful that I got up out of bed to do this interview because I very rarely get to have this much fun during commercial breaks. Usually I'm smoking and doing like the chat room, but this has been a blast.
It's because during the commercial breaks, people, this is what was happening. Like me saying he was boring and that, I don't know, what time is it and you suck.
But I'm going to tell you, I'm so super excited to see you, and I'm very excited to meet you. Keep up doing amazing work, and all the luck in the world. Tons of success to you, and thank you very much for coming on, Mr. Forsyth. Back to you.
And I just want to say, Tiffany, your behavior during the commercial is the reason you don't do more television. I'm just going to throw it out there. So that's television requires commercials, baby. Television requires commercials. But no, I agree with Ken. It's been a lot of fun. I don't think I have ever looked more forward to meeting someone at the Scarefest, bar none.
Well, I can't wait to meet you guys. It's going to be super fun. And thanks for having me. And this show is super fun. And I'm glad we were able to work it out. And I didn't give up when my audio was shit.
So everybody,
congratulations to the person that won 3-day passes. That's kind of amazing. Like, not a lot of cons give away shit, and to give away 3-day pass.
we give away so many passes, they actually quit playing the freaking game. We couldn't give them away a couple weeks because people, they all our fans want the expensive tickets, the gold and the platinum tickets, and the 3-day tickets. It's like, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So
I can't wait to
yeah.
come to the show. It's you guys in a few weeks. That's unbelievable.
We are just Ken and I are a hoot, I believe, as they say in the hills.
Oh. That means
no,
she gets a boggle bomb for free. That's a boggle bomb for free, Wes.
A boggle bomb?
Yeah,
it sounds like something you don't want to feed after midnight, like bad gremlin.
It is a delicious liquor drink that has way too many ingredients in it for the simple palate of myself. But anyway, and that's 3, I think. It's not like complicated, and that's not counting the ice. So anyway, everybody, quick recap. Dr. Chud, Ghost Brothers, Eileen Dietz, Shawnee Smith, Victor Peruta, Eugene Clark, Keith Age, all coming to the Scarefest.
Me.
And Tiffany
Shepis.
My God, woman, my producer needs to do better with her hand signals. She's pointing. Yeah, Tiffany Shepis. Everybody, I know you're looking as forward to meeting her as I am. And once again, congratulations to whoever I announced won the thing because I didn't write it down yet.
Her name was like Charlene. Am I right?
Christine Joy.
But you were close. You were very, very close. So everybody, this has been Scarefest Radio. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Thanks for stopping by.
The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program.
Wrong intro.